you like that drop, stick around because I'm going to show you how to get that Hamdi sound. Let's break it down step by step and let me know in the comments which artist I should cover next. So for this project, I set the BPM at 140. I'm going to start breaking down the drums, then going into the synths, and finally the fills. The drums by themselves sound like this. And in the second part of the drop, I switch the kick pattern a little bit, so it sounds like this. A lot of groove coming from the kick, but also I think this first snare is doing a lot of the work. So the kick sounds like this. Then the snare is only one sample, sounds like that. And then I have this 4 hi-hat loops. So this is the first one. This is the second one. That's more like a ride. Then this third one, really close hi-hat. And then this hi-hat loop. And I say that this first one is really important because this one is on a swing groove. So if I turn this off, let me show you how the drums sound without it. It's cool, but sounds like a little bit more like straight grid. And if I put this on, just the fact that this is like set on a swing groove, it just gives it like that like skippy type of groove, basically. That rhythm, that's for the drums. Then going into the synths, I have this first bass. I'm gonna show you how that one was created. So this one started with a simple sine wave. Notice that there is mono, legato, and portamento enabled, and the amount of portamento is 116 milliseconds. Then I enabled this analog BD sine wavetable, and I enabled phase distortion from B. Something that is really key for this sound is the shape of the envelope. So I moved the shape of the envelope to envelope 2 for the example, but notice what happens when I put this in the main envelope. That is the one that controls the shape of the sound. It just helps a lot, adding a little bit of extra attack, sustain, going down, and then like a little bit of release. Also, the fact that the octave is 1 up in here, it really helps with the sound. As you can tell. The level of this one is all the way down to 0, by the way. And then the cool thing is you can play with the amount of phase distortion. It will give you like a great variety of different sounds to use. Yeah, so I think I had it like around 70 myself. Then going into the effects. Oh, I already have the distortion enabled. So just like a subtle amount of diode 1 distortion. Then some multiband compression. After that, I put a phaser on. And some hyper dimension. And at that point, the sound is really there, but I just added an extra EQ, cutting everything below around 250 hertz. Just to clean up that low end that I didn't need. Then outside of the patch, I just put an EQ8, cutting everything below 100 and increasing in here. Even though I put an EQ in this, I still added low cutting here just because Serum EQ is not the best when it comes to like low cutting something, so that's why I added that. Then I have this sub, and this one is pretty simple. It's once again a sine wave. The envelope, it's looking pretty similar, just less attack, 25 milliseconds. I added some extra harmonics, as you can see. This is making the sub fatter. And then the key thing here is the chorus pitch modulation. So envelope mode, 1/8, this shape. And then in the matrix, I set this to be unipolar mode and 6% in the amount. I still have the same mono, legato, and portamento enabled. In the effects, I just have a little bit of soft clipping. And that's how that sounds. It's pretty deep, so if you don't have headphones or good speakers, you might not be able to hear it. Then I have this second bass, which is also a variation of the first one. Sounds like this. So let me show you how that one was created. So this one, once again, started with a sine wave. Check out that the envelope, it's looking pretty similar to the previous one, FM from B. A little bit less this time. And then on the second oscillator, I put this acid wavetable from the analog folder. Wavetable position 60, 2 octaves up this time. Once again, the envelope shape is key in here. That can also work, but I wanted something a little bit more high-pitched. And you can play with the phase distortion amount, as I mentioned earlier. Then I have very similar post-processing, actually. I'm not sure if I changed anything in the post-processing area. I think it's exactly the same. So that's great. And that's the sound. Then outside of the patch, I once again cut everything below 100. And I'm using the sub bass to cover for that area. So that's the first part of the drop. And now let's go into the second part. So I really like this sound. This one, I was referencing a song from Hamdi and LYNY, and I kind of feel like this was kind of like LYNY influencing here, which I absolutely love for sure. And so to show you how I created that, let me open Serum. So sine wave, FM or phase distortion from B, 46%. This LFO shape, 1/8, retrigger mode, and that's affecting the level in here. So far it sounds pretty thin. Let's put a saw wave in here. So basic shapes, position 2, 1 octave up. Sounds like that. Pretty cool. But it's missing kind of like that resonance that the original has or the reference has. Let's put some filtering. Let's add a cutoff in here. Modulation. And something that I'm doing is I am automating the amount of cutoff. So the first time around, or the first 2 times I should say, sounds like this. Then in here sounds like this. So a little bit more muted in the cutoff. Then in the effects, I put some hyper dimension. Then some soft clipping. And this EQ boosting the everything above 2K. Then I'm doing like an automation of the LFO rate. So it looks like this. It starts at 1/8, then quickly jumps to 1/16, and then goes back to 1/8 again. Then I just cut everything below 100 and decrease a little bit in this area. And also cut the very, very tops in here. Yeah, really simple sound, but really cool sounding. Then I have this sub. This is from my sub rack. If you get the project, you'll get this one. Actually, if you want to play around with the drop, I uploaded the full Ableton project and all the presets to my Patreon. That's where I upload all the projects that I've been making in the last couple years. So yeah, link is in the description if you're interested. This is from my sub rack. I did a little automation of the drop knob. So it does like a little pitch. I'm exaggerating anything here, but it's something more subtle. That's for the first note. Then the second note doesn't have any pitch change. Something that I'm doing is I put the envelope follower, which is a Max for Life device. If you just write envelope follower, I guess you should also have it. You might need to download it, but I think it's free anyways. And then what that is doing is I'm mapping the gain of this utility to the envelope follower. This is something that I didn't know. You can map stuff from a different channel. Before I thought that everything that I mapped had to be in this exact same channel, but it actually is not like that. I can just take something from another channel and map it to this envelope follower. So that's really cool. In there, what I did was increase the gain of the envelope follower, and then I set these parameters from 31 to 53, and that's affecting this output gain. So it's making the sub kind of follow the movement of this, if that makes sense. And you can actually kind of see it. Let me bring up span. If I was to take this off, you can notice the difference more clearly. With it. So yeah, and you can see how this is interacting with the envelope follower. Good. All right, so that's for that sound. Now let's check out this one. Let me show you how that one was done. So sine wave again, this LFO shape retriggered. This one is 1/8 triplets, and the LFO is affecting the level, as you can see. Then Monster 2 wavetable, 1 octave up. And here I was playing with the different modes of this. So asymmetric or asymmetrical sounded good. Then I put this filter. And you can absolutely play with the amount of cutoff in there. Also, you can play with the amount of phase distortion. Now going into the effects, I have some soft clip in distortion all the way up in here. Multiband compression, hyperdimension, diode 2, and this diffuser, which is just adding some extra like texture to it. Oh, and also I have mono legato and portamento, and the portamento is around like 500 milliseconds. Cool. Then we have this one. And I think this is the only one from all the main basses that don't start with a sine wave. This one is a square wave. Sounds like that. I did a little automation of the pitch bend, as you can see. Oh wait, hold on. As you can see in there. Then I enable the second oscillator with this wavetable, 1 octave up. This wavetable position, I'm playing this time with bend plus 37%. It's kind of subtle. You might not actually need it, but I added it in there. Filter. With those values, and then the effects, I have soft clip and distortion, this time going to 63%. Multiband compression. And dimension. Cool. The last element from the synths is this high string layer. And that's just me going into the multi-sample mode and choosing this specific instrument. Then just push it 1 octave up in the second part of the drop. And that just helps to fill up the spectrum and keep the energy up throughout the whole drop. Then going into the fills, I have a vocal going throughout the whole thing. A little bit of reverb. Then it changes, goes a little bit slower in here. Then there's sample with reverb. And that's about it. The only other thing is this white noise in the build and this riser. Something that I actually forgot to mention is that the drums from this drop, this project, I took them from another project that I did on a drop in the style of Sesco. So if you like this one, I think you'll really love that Sesco tutorial. So tap the video on screen and I'll see you there.